Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Jesus, and today I chose to do my photographer presentation on Jose Carlos Fajardo, the San Jose Mercury News. And while researching somebody to try to do something, I really couldn't think of something interesting to talk about, and I just thought it would be fun because I work at the Bay Area News Group, which is San Jose Mercury News in the East Bay Times, and I work with Jose. And for a very, very long time, even before I started working there, I would see Jose on the sidelines in a lot of the games that he has. We were also a lot of the same games, so I thought it'd be cool to talk about it. And this isn't somebody like famous of some sorts, but it's somebody that's a professional and is really good at his job. So here's some information about Jose. Jose Carlos Fajardo was born on September 12, 1971. He is a photographer for the Bay Area News Group, which is, as I mentioned, the San Jose Mercury News, the East Bay Times. And he has been there, forget for how long, but he's been there for quite a while. And he's been through, numerous papers in East Contra Costa County or in the Bay Area just in general. He's from Brentwood. He went to Liberty High School. That's in Brentwood, which is not too far from my hometown. And he told me his journey to get into, photography, or the position where he is he started, interning and working at the photo room at one of the newspapers and did a lot of work there. And he didn't necessarily get his degree while he was in community college, but he ended up, doing a really good job in newspaper and showing out. He's been able to stay ever since, and I think he's a really big contributor to a lot of the stuff that we do at the Merc. So I'm going to go through his pictures. A lot of the things are sports. The main reason why I picked it was because I like sports, and I think it'd be interesting to show it to those people who aren't necessarily familiar with how sports are shot. But he also has some landscape here, some portraits that I think I might have placed. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to go into it right now. Okay, so this photo is a photo of Sean Murphy, the catcher for the Oakland Athletics, him signing autographs at the Oakland Coliseum. What I like about this picture is that it really captured this right here. The child with the sticker on the head, and you can really see, how intent everybody is looking and stuff like that. And it's a photo where I think the focus is kind of in this area right here. And, just being able to see the way Sean Murphy is signing the balls and stuff like that. I think it just adds really good to be able to see the excitement on the kids' faces, to get their stuff signed by somebody who's in the major leagues and someone that they hope to be. This I can actually provide some context to. So this happened at a Pittsburgh versus De La Salle football game, the Open Division Championship. And this call right here, this Jose took this picture, and this call right here was actually called a touchdown. Rashid Williams, four-star wide receiver, caught the ball, but he caught it out of bounds, as you can see right here. This is the out of bounds line. It's not the touchdown line. I know it seems that way because it has this thing, but it's not that. And he caught it out of bounds, but the referees called it in. And I think the timing of this picture is just what makes it so perfect because, when you know the story behind it, you can see clearly that he was out by a mile, clearly that this defensive back had swatted him out of his place. I liked, what he was able to do with the lighting here because at high school football lighting, it's not as good as, when you're at a professional stadium. So I really like what he did with the lighting there. Here, we talk about different type of lighting. This is a spotlight with, Steph Curry warming up for the Golden State Warriors during one of their playoff games, I believe. Um, I just like this because he's kind of, posed like it's a portrait, but it's not. It's all natural. And he was able to get the timing of that to see, the way right here where you can see the light back here, the different shade within the Warriors logo. And then right here, you're able to sort of, see the reflection that Curry has right there. I think that's super cool. This one I liked a lot because you can pay attention to detail here. I think detail here is super, super important. I think this is Heliot Ramos of the San Francisco Giants, and it's him sliding at the home plate. I think during his major league debut, it might have been. I'm not sure. But I like that you can see like the detail right here, like the dirt coming out of the. You can even see like if you zoom in, you can see little you can see the dirt, pop up and stuff like that. So I think that's super cool. You can see the socks, you can see the dirt up here. It shows his emotion, how he is very locked into what's going to happen. You get that there. You see the crowd in the back; it's a pretty big crowd. And yeah, this one is an overhead shot during one of the Warriors games. I just think, with the NBA courts, have a lot of designs. I think it's super cool, when photographers get the opportunity to do this. And I think Jose right here does an excellent job of uh of using what he has to his advantage. You can see the player right here. I don't know what player that is, but you can see his face, dunking and stuff like that. The ball going in. And it just there's really good color contrast. I mean, the Warriors uniforms, um, the blow here, the Adobe, even details like this, which the Adobe backboard, it makes it really good for a picture. This one was one of my favorite pictures. So this appears to be who I think is Sean Murphy batting for the Oakland Athletics. And you can see the rest of his teammates just intently looking at the way he's batting. You see different type, the focus obviously isn't on him, right? Which is kind of, if you think maybe not an orthodox approach if you submitted it as a game story, but it's a good, secondary piece to have right there. You can see the focus isn't on him, but it's on the rest of his teammates and the way that they're looking, and I think in baseball, the camera angles, you can never really see how players are reacting to the way their teammates are. And I think this does a really excellent job of showing that, you have different people here with different reactions. You have Christian Pache sort of smiling in the middle of it, but the rest of everybody looks very, very intent. I mean, from Tony Kemp all the way on the right, the way Cole Irvin, one of the starting pitchers, seems to be chewing on gum. I just really like the way, you can just vividly clearly see the face. And I think that this does a good job of telling another side of story of baseball where it's not just the action, but it's the environment that comes with it. You can even see some of the fans here, everybody's intent, everybody's watching, being so close to the action. I think these details are super, super important. And yeah, like you can even see this person's face right here, which I think is super cool. So I like this picture a lot. Jose also does, portrait photos that I've seen. He does a lot of outdoor stuff, but he also does stuff like this. I really consider Jose like a jack of all trades when it comes to photography, just because he's able to do, anything that's given to him. He does an excellent job of doing so. So here is this example right here. This is of Lake Merritt in downtown Oakland. I think this is just a beautiful picture right at sunset. I'm forgetting off of the top of my head what this hour should be called. It's certainly not golden hour, but just look at the skies, look so great. These California sunsets. You can see the reflections of the buildings right here on Lake Merritt. And you can even see the reflection of the sky. I think using this would be using natural light to your advantage, because it is the natural light and it just blocks the shadow of everybody. You can see the people walking here enjoying the day despite it being sunset, and despite it being Oakland, California, a very dangerous city. People are out here still enjoying it. I think it really captures, this really cool image of a city that doesn't get as much recognition for what it has. Okay, and this is a portrait. I would say it's not, an intended portrait, but this is actually the drum major of my high school marching band. Not when I was there, but now. This is taken during high school football season. This is using natural light to your advantage, because, well, this might be natural and this might be artificial, just because it's so hard to tell, because you see that everything else is blurred out, but there's a light providing here, and you can kind of see, the face of the drum major, how intent, how intense they are during this moment, because it's a high pressure situation. I think it really displays that, and it, kind of balances the colors that you can see the colors up here, but they're a little bit darker over here. This is a picture of Grizzly Peak. This is San Francisco, and this is Oakland. This is, the Port of Oakland, Howard Terminal, and all that stuff. And see the other side, to San Francisco. And I think that this photo, really has a warm feeling to it. Um, and there's just so much going on in this photo. This is one of my favorite spots to go to in person. Great, but just photograph just looks as amazing too, because you're able to see a lot of the lights in the cities and stuff like that, but you're also able to see the sunset. This is another one he took during a crime. This was during it was this was in Venetia. I know this is Vallejo Fire Department. They were probably there helping, but this is Venetia. There was like a fire right by the port. and it caused a lot of damage. And I like this one because it kind of tells the story. You can see it burning, but you can also see this police officer, not this police officer, this fire man just watching over it. And I think that's a lot of value to it. And those are all the images that I have. I hope you guys appreciated this, and I'll leave a link to Jose's his byline, and I'll leave his social medias there so people could see, what he does. I have a lot of respect for him. It was fun to do a professional photographer presentation on someone I know, so I thought this was extremely fun. Fuck, I can talk, man.